Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Keith Thurman Media Conference Call. Your host for today, Ray Flores, will now begin.
Thank you very much, operator. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much to the media calling in from wherever you are around the world. We are just over a week and a half away from an amazing night of boxing, July 20th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. It is PBC on Fox Sports pay-per-view, all starting at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time. On the marquee, the main event of the evening, headline the 8th Division World Champion Senator Manny Pac Man Pacquiao taking on the WBA Welterweight World Champion Kieth one-time Thurman in the main event. This is the biggest event of the summer for boxing. It is can't miss. Tickets for this event, they are scarce tickets and limited tickets available. And the event is promoted by MP Promotions, Mayweather Promotions, TGB Promotions. They're on sale now, going very fast. You can get them online, AXS.com, charged by phone 866-740-7711, or in person at any MGM Resorts International box office. Make sure you get your tickets now or order it on Fox Sports pay-per-view.
Question is going to come from Norman Perlestein from the Los Angeles Times. Please go ahead.
Hey, Keith. Thanks for your time. Hey, I was wondering in evaluating the current Manny, the 40-year-old Manny, of his three fights, Horn, Matisse, and Broner. Is one more important than the other, or have you looked at beyond those last three fights?
At the end of the day, he's come back strong after a loss. Maybe he underestimated Horn. Maybe he really did fall ill overseas. They said that he was kind of sick the week of the fight. And obviously no fighter is going to pull out of a fight. Styles makes fights. Like I said, he could have underestimated Horn. He could have not trained the same way. He looked terrific against Matisse. And he dominated Adrian Broner, so obviously he doesn't think he's done. He doesn't like talk about retirement. So he's going to come to dominate Keith one-time Thurman, which is something no one's ever done. Right. He also is inspiring to win a world title that he's never won throughout his whole career, because the last time he fought for the Super WBA was against Floyd Mayweather, upon which he suffered a loss. So this is his second opportunity to acquire something that he's never acquired before throughout his whole career. So he's got a lot going for him. He wants to prove his greatness, prove his legacy is one that will never be forgotten, even though it cannot be forgotten. Win, loss, draw, it cannot be forgotten because he's accomplished so much in this sport of boxing. But he still is reaching for greatness at the age of 40, and it's admirable. I admire that within him. I was impressed with his performance against Adrian Broner. It was a week before me. After witnessing him fight, I got out into the streets, and I ran at 1 in the morning, You
did that night, huh?
Because I did, because it was a week before my fight, and I just watched a 40-year-old man beat a young man, and it was really inspiring for me, because I'm coming off of injuries, and I'm coming off of lack of activity, and, Manny's just done so much, but he wanted to do more. And, of course, I'm young. I definitely want to do more, and on the 20th, I'm going to show you more.
All right. What can you envision yourself fighting at 40 years old?
Hell no. That's quick, man. My grandfather never liked that I was going to be a boxer. My grandfather on my father's side, he never liked that I was going to be a boxer. My family's all from Ohio, outside of Cleveland. My grandfather was even a Mason, and he told me, he said, if you're going to do it, boy, he said, get in and get out. And he meant it in a twofold way. He meant if you can stop him and get out the ring early, and make your money and get out of boxing while you still got sense and you can talk straight. Because, you know, the big thing about fighters back in the day is the punch drunk syndrome. Even Ben Getty used to talk to me about it. And luckily, I'm more than a brawler. I am a boxer.
Right.
And, you know, I'm going to do my best to not take too many shots come July 20th.
Yeah, well, that's good advice. Sometimes that's harder to do, but your grandfather sounded like he gave you some good advice. Thanks a lot, man.
A few more of these paychecks, we ain't gonna be here when we're 40 years old. Believe that.
Yeah.
I don't need $100 million in life. I just need a little bit of moolah. I just need some moolah.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Rob Huff from Fight News. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yep.
Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. Just had a little problem on this end. You know, you're 30 years old. You've had a decade younger than Pacquiao. You've had fewer than half the fights he's had. There's some conventional wisdom that you're not going to take it easy in the early rounds, but maybe you save a little something for the championship rounds and see if a 40-year-old man can take your best heat in 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I'm curious to hear from you and your trainer if that's been part of your thinking.
At the end of the day, I'm going to do to him what I did to Danny Garcia. Bop! What's good? Bop! I'm going to hit him as soon as I can hit him. Bop! What's good? You good? Because I'm good. You ready to fight? Because I'm here. You know? Freddie Roach is the only one that talks shit. It reminds me of the Danny Garcia fight. You let your trainer talk for you. For him, it was his daddy and his trainer. It don't matter, man. You know, Pacquiao knows it's the hands that do all the talking. Bop! You know, from the opening bell. Ben Getty said, go out there and show them your power, boy. He said, I don't care who it is. He goes, when you hit them, they're going to do a pretty little dance. You know, I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to destroy a legend and to create my own legacy. How can I not, Babe Ruth, step up to the plate, point for it, and start swinging? How can I not go for it? You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to let it go. If Manny Pacquiao's the man that beats me, he's the man that beats me. And I'm going to shake his hand after the fight, congratulate him. It is what it is. But when Keith Thurman steps into the ring, you're dealing with Keith Thurman, and he's a bad man.
You had talked a little bit at the previous question that you hadn't been inclined when you were injured to talk about your depression and when you were talking about your sadness. You made it sound like it went a little deeper in your head than just the sort of general frustration that one would expect from an injured boxer. Is that fair to say? Did it really get in your head and shake your confidence and things like that? Hello? Hello?
Hey, Kieth, are you still there?
I believe we lost Keith Thurman. One moment, please.
Get him up.
We have Mr. Thurman back on the line now.
Brilliant. One thing you'd said in response to a previous question, you weren't so inclined to talk when you were out of boxing. You didn't want to talk about your depression. You didn't want to talk about your sadness. You made it sound like it cut a little bit deeper than just the sort of general frustration of having to overcome an injury. Is that a fair assessment? Was this something that really got into your head and left you wondering about how this all might go?
Well, like I said, I'm a very passionate individual. I'm a dreamer. It's in human nature. Not every day is going to be our best day. And for me, my thought process started to get a little morbid. You know, I started having to ask myself the question, are you ever going to fight again? Is your career over at the age of 28, 29 years old? Are you done? Is all that you accomplished all that you will ever accomplish in your career? And if so, I mean, it's sad, it's upsetting. It's still something to be proud about, being a two-time world champion, unifying the WBA with the WBC when I defeated the undefeated world champion Danny Garcia at the time. But, I'm still in my prime, so, it was quite depressing to start thinking like that. And obviously I got myself out of that train of thought. And getting in the gym also helps because as you're not training, you're not feeling good either. As you train and you lose weight, everybody feels better about themselves. And training is a natural way to increase endorphins in the brain. Like I said, we're human. Not every day can be your best day. And I had some depressing moments and some negative thought patterns at that time. But luckily for me, my doctors kept encouraging that you will be back. And I could have got back at the end of 2018, but I talked to my team, I talked to my wife, and I was encouraged that nothing good was coming out of 2018. So let's just wait for 2019. Let's start fresh. Let's hit it in January. And, patience can be a virtue sometimes. And I believe we're having a tremendous year. And I'm obviously a lot happier to be back in the sport.